Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I am back to cast another 2v2 match for you. This one will be on Khydarin Depths and it will be between SuperNinja, the red Protoss player, and his teammate will be Azide, who is now a member of the X6 clan. So xSixAzide, he is the blue Protoss player. It's been a while since I cast these two guys, and they are probably the best dual Protoss team. I mean, I've cast a lot of their games and they are exceptional, and I do suspect some cheesiness. We'll see, as they have both sent their probes out here, and we'll see what they do. Keep an eye on those. I want to quickly introduce their opponents. They will be Panerai, the teal Zerg player, and Power, who will be the purple Terran player. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. SuperNinja is throwing down a proxy pylon at the base of Panerai's ramp, and he has brought out a bunch of drones, losing one right there to that probe. And this pylon is going to finish for SuperNinja, and he really wants to throw down a forge right here. I believe this is something that SuperNinja and Azide have done often, where they go. I did not even notice this pylon down here, and Azide is throwing down proxy gateways inside Power's base, and SuperNinja is going to get the forge down at the base of Panerai's ramp, and another pylon coming down here to complete this wall off. And I expect to see more cannons back there to keep Panerai stuck in his base, and also Panerai will be unable to recover these drones and get them back on the mineral line. So already the bottom team up against it, and the pressure is on from the top team. And will Azide be trying to throw down a second gateway in the base? I'm not so sure. He doesn't have very many minerals banked up, so I expect to see a Zealot be chrono boosted out right now of this gateway, and that is exactly what's happening. And Power wisely throwing down two barracks here and putting a bunker behind them. And now this bunker placement is going to be good to be able to protect these buildings. However, the back of his mineral line may be vulnerable to some Zealot micro, and this probe so close to going down right there from that Marine. And here comes the Zealot, and he is going to be chasing this Marine back here into the mineral line, and Power is going to pull SCVs off the line. He's going to surround this Zealot. One of the SCVs trying to get the probe, and it looks like the Zealot is going to run away, but that Zealot is probably going to die here. I want to double check really quickly. I'll wait until this Zealot does die, and so does the probe. It looks like Power will be able to stop this. We'll see it when that Zealot comes out, and meanwhile SuperNinja has completed two cannons down here. And I guess this actually wasn't walled in, because I think those drones must have gone back home. And I think that wasn't walled in, because he just threw down this cannon here, and he's throwing down another pylon, possibly. Oh, he can sneak this probe in here. He's going to go ahead and start building cannons up on the high ground, I believe. And now Power, with a bunch of Marines out here, is going to chase away this Zealot. And it looks like Power, with some good Marine micro, will be able to take care of this harassment. And so he is actually going to be trying to go for that pylon real quick there, but Azide chrono boosting. Now a Stalker is coming out of this gateway, and that could change the tide of things. However, those two Zealots do go down, and will this pylon go down before the chrono boosted Stalker gets out? No, the Stalker gets out barely in the nick of time, and with some micro, Azide will be able to keep the Stalker alive. Got to be careful though, as Power is shooting and scooting forward, and this Stalker is going to fall back to the comfort of these cannons. And meanwhile, SuperNinja now putting a bunch of cannons on the high ground of Panerai's base. Panerai doing a nice job though, spreading that creep out as soon as he can, and getting a spine crawler at this location, which it's not like these cannons would be able to creep any closer, but SuperNinja is just going to go ahead, and he is going to, it looks like, complete a wall off here. I'm not sure if he is able to get by there. Meanwhile, Power is finishing off this gateway while Azide tries to harass these Marines. And Azide did bring a new probe up here just in case he wants to build some new stuff. But man, an action-packed opening here. And I was gonna like blab about a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I'm just taking a break right now from, oh my god, even doing a gas steal here is SuperNinja. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is, this is really what Protoss players sometimes have to do against top-tier Zerg Terran teams, because they're so vulnerable to early Ling harass, and also vulnerable to Marine rushes, as well as Hellions if they don't wall in their base here. And so it's interesting how SuperNinja is so exposed here. The problem is, because of this wall in here on Panerai's base, he won't be able to run any Lings across the map, obviously, and now he's going to be working on this assimilator, getting a second spine crawler here, And Power now, it looks like, will be transitioning into Marauders, and he is working on that stim pack. He just started that. So, and at the same time, xSixAzide, though, has thrown down 3 gateways in his main, as well as the Twilight Council. I expect to see some Blink research coming out of that Twilight Council very soon. And now Power is starting to work on these buildings, and he does have enough Marines here, it looks like, to take care of this. He should probably be focusing down this cannon right here, which is now exactly what he's going to do. And if he utilizes his positioning well, which he is, he should be able to take out this pylon. However, this pylon up here will be able to keep these cannons powered for a while. And now 3 Stalkers coming down here, and that is going to force Power to fall back. It looks like this Marauder barely surviving. And more sneakiness going on. There's probes all over the place here, and I just don't want to miss any more proxy shenanigans. Interesting. Oh, I thought he was leaving that alive for a second, and so now it seems like Panerai and Power are going to want to try and snipe this pylon somehow. But xSixAzide is protecting this pylon with these Stalkers, and now throwing an additional pylon down here, which I think will be able to power most of these, if not all of them. It should be able to get these 4, maybe not that one, but he wants to get this forge repowered as well, so that he can build some more cannons if he needs. So the contain has been set up, but Power is going to be starting to build that command center to be lifted off and landed over here. So not your typical opening. And okay, now xSixAzide is throwing a pylon down over here. I think this pylon is really just so that he can warp in units, and he will be able to warp in units on this high ground. And also that Blink research, did he actually get that Blink research? He did, and I think it just finished there. So he will be able to blink up and down here and really do some harassment. And so it could come down to some micro here as far as what kind of damage these Stalkers will be able to do. And here we go. It looks like xSixAzide is going to blink up in here and try and do some damage to the Spine Crawler. He is going to lose 1 Stalker there in the front, and now Panerai scooting up here. xSixAzide trying to stay in range of these cannons as best he can. Power, meanwhile, though, is coming around the back. He's going to take out xSixAzide's pylon on the low ground. It looks like he is going to be able to snipe down SuperNinja's pylon on the high ground, and all the cannons are unpowered, and xSixAzide is totally screwed. He is going to blink out these Stalkers and run away. All these cannons are going to fall, and so a nice job there by Power and Panerai to recover from that initial pressure. And so xSixAzide is going to be licking his wounds and falling back here to his main base, and probably looking to expand shortly. I'm going to switch back to production, and I do see a Dark Shrine on the way for xSixAzide. And oh, it looks like Power's scan is going to reveal that. I want to double check. He is not going to reveal the Dark Templar, the Dark Shrine in the back of the mineral line. So nice placement of the Dark Shrine there by xSixAzide. And at the same time, SuperNinja does have 3 gateways here, and he has a robotics facility, already has an Immortal nearly completed. The robotics bay is going down now, so there will be Colossi in the near future from SuperNinja. And it looks like Power and Panerai want to make them pay for that early pressure. We'll see if they will be able to break the Protoss army. However, there are quite a few. There are 3 sentries in here, as well as that Immortal. And so obviously the top team getting vision of that attack with being able to occupy those watchtowers, and now you will see the force fields going down to prevent the bottom team from getting in the bases. So we're going to see a lot of force fields. This is something I've seen a lot from xSixAzide and SuperNinja. If their super early pressure fails, or I mean not necessarily fails, because you don't expect that kind of attack to actually eliminate your opponents, but you want to put them on the back foot, put them in a catch-up situation, and then when they try and do that hard counter, just force field your ramp. Got these little ramps here. 1 force field at a time is plenty. And SuperNinja is going to be killing his gateway over here. He has rebuilt a new gateway over here, so he's going to be killing this warp gate so he can get his units out. He does now have 2 Immortals. So if the Protoss team wants, they can push out together and possibly trap some of Power's units, as Panerai has already retreated and Power's units are stuck here all by himself. He's going to actually save most of this army, so a nice job of stimming up and running away before the force fields could trap them, and so much energy spent on those force fields without too much of a return there, as SuperNinja and xSixAzide did not really create a ring or a semicircle, which is what you want to do to really trap those units and then push in and they won't be able to run away. But instead they sort of had a flat excuse me there, they sort of had a flat orientation of those force fields, which allowed the bio units to stim up and get away around the outside. And now you see that xSixAzide is throwing down this high yield expansion, and we did see some pings going off, so that leads me to believe, I wonder if those pings, where those pings came from. Possibly that is just the bottom team thinking, okay, well, we know there's no expansions here, and so we've seen that, so maybe we should check these high yields and make sure there's not anything sneaky going on. You'd be surprised how many times bases will end up being established here on this map, Khydarin Depths, and the other team will not even know about it. So we'll see how that pans out. Meanwhile, Panerai has established this expansion, but he needs a lot more saturation at that, and Power has really got this high yield expansion going, and SuperNinja trying to set up this high yield expansion. So everybody wants a high yield except for Panerai. He's just content with regular mineral patches apparently. And still these watchtowers occupied by SuperNinja's probes, so he has just got some serious map vision right now. But Panerai is starting to spread that creep pretty well. It is creeping into the middle of the map. Power, it looks like, wants to do some damage. He's got a ton of Marauders and Marines out here. They do have one weapons upgrade, and no more upgrades. Actually, there is an armor upgrade on the way. It looks like he did a little elevator action to take out that probe up here. And I don't know if you guys have ever played the old school Nintendo game Elevator Action, but I used to play that game all the time when I was a little tyke, and I'm telling you, man, that game was so much fun. For an old game, it was really, really fun, and the music always used to stick in my head. For some reason, whenever I would take showers in the morning for so long, I would wake up in the morning and I would have that Elevator Action song stuck in my head, and I just couldn't get rid of it. Anyway, that was like a major digression right there. There's a bunch of Colossi right here, and Power has he has dropped into the back of SuperNinja's base, and it looks like he did take out, I think that was a gateway over here, possibly a cybernetics core. Was it? No, the cyber core is up here, so I'm not sure exactly what died there. Sorry about that. I was talking about elevator action at the same time. Panerai is going to be coming right in to the high yield expansion, and this Nexus is going to fall right away. Power's main force is also here with these roaches. Force fields going off all over the place to try and keep these units away from the Colossi. The Colossi in the back are doing so much damage to these roaches and Marauders. And will Power and Panerai be able to break this? They are going to be focusing down this Immortal here, and it looks like Power is going to be trying to kill that Immortal and then run away as best he can. So, wow, that was a pretty intense exchange right there, as a nice diversion tactic there from Power, dropping a small force into this area, and look, he even saved a couple of units to continue harassing this probe line, and now SuperNinja is up against it. He has lost a bunch of probes. He's transferred some of them over here, but the long distance mining is going to be trouble. He's going to have to put all those probes back on this set of mineral patches for the time being. And that changeling, it looks like, finally died, by the way, if you heard that sound effect. And I forgot to mention that I was looking at that changeling while I was digressing there, and that changeling really, really gave them an advantage with the vision. I think that changeling was kept alive. I'm not sure if that was a new changeling. Either way, at the same time, though, xSixAzide has maintained this high yield expansion, and the bottom team still has not scouted that. So we'll see if they eventually do scout that. Power does have a bunch of Vikings out now, and so those are going to be obviously great against these Colossi. And I like the bottom team's chances right now. They definitely have the upper hand, and looks like they are going to be trying to deal a death blow here. These roaches, I was going to check their upgrades. They have no armor upgrades, but apparently when they are burrowed, you can't see their attack upgrades. So they do have one attack upgrade, and now burrowed roaches are going to sneak in here. I wonder what they are going to do. Are they going to go into one of the main bases or try and kill a bunch of these high Templars maybe? And it looks like they are actually going to unburrow right in front of the army. Psi Storms are going down all over the place, doing quite a bit of damage. But this is going to be really close, ladies and gentlemen. Switching to APM tab, Power and Panerai are going absolutely berserk right now, and it looks like they are going to be able to break this. There are not enough force fields here to keep these units out, and the burrowed roaches would have been able to go under those right away. A nice job by xSixAzide switching those High Templars into Archons right after they sidestorm, but it would not be enough, and Power and Panerai are going to steamroll this rebuilt expansion here. So wow, that was a pretty exciting game there. Thank you, Power, for sending me this game, and remember, this never even got scouted, though. It looks like Panerai finally did scout this with this Overlord, so he was sending units over there. So that base was about to be taken out. But wow, nice job there. I want to actually go back, so if you don't care, feel free to move on to the next video or whatever, but I was digressing there when Power made that two-pronged attack, and I want to go back and check out that action really quickly here, as we do see this army moving across the map. And so I think this is about the time, right there's the elevator action, that I started really digressing. Apologies for that. And it looks like, okay, here is what he's doing. He is going to he's going to load up 2 medevacs worth of units and load them into the back. This was a forge, by the way, and it was upgrading weapons level 1, so that did get killed, and there goes that pylon. So now at the same time that is happening, Power is joining up with his brethren Panerai, and they were attacking this front. And those force fields right here, just not good enough. If these force fields had completely walled this off, it would have been a huge victory for the right team, I think. However, the fact that this army for SuperNinja was out of position was the death blow. So really, this entire game came down to the fact that Power distracted SuperNinja with this 2 medevac drop, and SuperNinja pulled his entire army back there, and right at the perfect time they pressed the front and were able to break this base. Because other than that, it was really quite even. I mean, SuperNinja had this high yield and xSixAzide had this high yield, so actually economically the top team may have even been ahead before that point. So pretty exciting game there. Again, thank you, Power, for sending me this game, and that is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.